Yo, yo, yo. Thank you so much for tuning in to Conversations with Glow Radio Show, sponsored by Conversations with Glow Podcast. Okay. And if y'all want to know more about Conversations with Glow Radio Show slash podcast, you can go over to Convo, that is with a K, with glow.com to check out my website and also get signed up for the emailing list. So therefore you can get future information about me, your girl Glow, and also the future guests that I would have coming up on each show. I do want to thank y'all so much for being with me because I know, emails ain't been going out like that, but God is allowing for me to prosper in the ways that I need to be prospering. So, we're going to go ahead and keep it trucking. But anyway, don't forget to go and sign up for that emailing list, okay? And also, while you edit, go on over to Facebook and join Conversations with Glow Group. Again, we have like a lot of conversations. We celebrate people's birthdays, their wins, all that good stuff. So just make sure that you do the both, okay? You don't have to, but I'm asking because it's free, okay? Yay! Okay, so y'all, I'm going to allow for my guest to introduce himself. However, I'm about to tell his business. This is his first time ever recording and all that good stuff. So, y'all, it's your girl feeling special. But I just want y'all to, welcome him with open arms because this won't be your last time hearing his voice. So, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, DJ. I'm in um, uh, Unfocused Playroom is my podcast, and looking to get in this space. And I appreciate you having me on and give me some time. And thank you for bringing me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome, and thank you so much for wanting to be on. I greatly do appreciate that, is especially with it being your first.
Yeah.
However, let's go ahead and get into the conversation starter. Don't know where that came from, but let's go ahead and get into it. So, the conversation for tonight is: have you ever settled for vibes over vision?
Uh, I believe I have. After just thinking back, I'm pretty sure I have um done something like that in the past. Like just it just felt right in a sense. Um, and even though that person didn't really give what I get, like I feel like it probably wasn't even going nowhere or anything like that, but it like the vibe was still there. I definitely done it before, and it was for a long time. It was like a year or more. So
I believe it's possible because this is how I look at it, right? Have you ever settled for vibes over vision? So when I'm looking at is have I ever settled for potential over what the person was actually showing me? And yes, I have. It was always, oh, he's gonna he's gonna do good. Yeah, I know he's gonna get on his feet, he's gonna stay on his feet. And I'm staying there because again, like I rock with him. Like love the conversations we would have, all that type of stuff. But it's that just that little ounce is just like my potential of this person. And I just feel like that's where people actually go wrong at. I feel like that's what's going on today and in today's time, and really people are really settling for vibes over vision. Because okay, like I have a whole shirt that says the vibe matters. The vibe does matter, but again, you don't want to get caught up on that vibe too much. You have to allow for a person to show you who they are. And I just feel like that people should run with what the person is showing them. We too busy trying to paint a picture of what we want in a person and try to, stuff it in that person. But if that person keeps showing you who they are, you end up settling for real. Um, and yeah, that's what I get from it.
like in that situation, like when what the like is if they're showing you. if they're giving you this and they're not meeting the potential you have set for them, or they're saying this, that, and the third, and it's not following through. Like, do you pull away from it, or do you?
Yeah, okay. So here's my thing. I'm sitting up here like, yeah, like it's just easy peasy. It's really not easy pulling away from somebody that you actually have a vibe with for real, because that's the connection that y'all have with each other. However, if this person keeps showing you who they are, you gonna, I ain't gonna say like you have to settle, but it's just like, oh, I love when we together, but he's showing me really who he is, and I'm just like, the little scale, you you trying to weigh it out, and majority of the time, everybody know that basically the vibes win. That's why a lot of people end up being with people that they really don't want to be with for real.
Yeah. I could say I've experienced where, like, it's like the same thing where it was like, okay, so you're not it. I stayed around for longer than I should have, and it was really, really, really good. It was it was just that she was saying one thing, and I came back. I was like, okay, okay, I'm gonna give her a chance, and then I'm like, okay, so you're not doing it, and hey, I'm gonna do better. 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 And I never got it. So I was like, I need to pull away from this. And it was hard because anytime it was like I'm a man, so I'm not gonna block anybody. I don't do that whole
Exactly.
blocking
Me
or
neither.
this all that stuff like that. Like, but if she would hit me up and say, "Hey, what you doing?" I would respond and kind of like fall back in that cycle of whatever we were doing, and knowing I wasn't really seeing a future or nothing. But it is hard to pull away. I understand. I was wondering if you shared the same thing because, like I said, for me, it went on for like a year, and it was a little over a year, and it just kept being that same old cycle, and I just had to finally like cut it short. Like, this is not going anywhere. You still stuck where you're at. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be better. I'm not giving you what you want, but I'm not getting any reciprocation. So yeah, I just kind of moved on. I mean, but it was like I said, it was a year too long. I could have moved on and done something different, but it was easy. It was the vibe was extremely easy. Like, it was one of the best I've had. So when I look back at that time period in my life, it was just like so easy, but I stuck in it. So
Do you look at it as wasted time?
I don't think it was a waste because I learned I learned what I could deal with, what I can't deal with. I I learned about like what's my tipping point. Um, I learned the good, like the vibe. I learned like what I like as well. Like what would make me feel somebody out. Let's filling out things I like about a person. And I never feel like anybody you encounter is a waste of time
Mhm.
because all that you gain from that. Like, if you spend 10 years with somebody and you realize, like, hey, going into the next 5 or 10 years, going to the next, not 5, 10 years, going into the next person, these last 10 years allow me what I will and won't deal with when it comes to the next person. Like my boundaries, my limitations, my standards, what I want to receive, what I want to give out. It was tumultuous, it was aggravating, it was unhealthy, but I gained all that. I know, quote unquote, the red flag, the yellow flags now. They say, okay, as soon as I see this, nope, on to the next person. So as soon as I see this, nope, on to the next person.
Okay, now that you're saying it, right? So you said, being with somebody for 10 years, y'all break up, you learn what you will accept and what you won't accept, right? And you just said, oh, you get with this person, like, oh, red flag, gotta go on. Oh, red flag, gotta go on. Do you think do you think with having that type of behavior will actually keep you from not basically being in a relationship?
Um, I think trauma plays a part in our relationships, right? Trauma plays a part in moving on, or having specifics set in your listing. So
Hmm.
jumping from, I don't. I didn't mean it as far as like jumping from person to person. What I'm saying is, and I say a red flag. No, I'm just saying like a set of things that I wouldn't recommend anybody seeing one bad thing about. So of course, unless it's just
No, I'm not okay. I'm sorry for even saying like one bad thing, like just a couple.
okay, a couple bad things. Like it depends on what you, like I said, it depends on what you willing to deal with. Because if we talking about, is it four things or like a couple of things that can be worked on, or is a couple of things that that just ingrained in their character? Like you could just see that this is your discernment lets you know, okay, this ain't something that they can work on. This is not something I can truly deal with. And I don't know. I haven't. I can't say I experienced. Well, no, I can't say that. Maybe you know better than I do, but um, when people have what you say, things you dislike about them, people say if the good outweigh the bad and all that. I mean, you got to decide if you want to really deal with that good, to say, okay, the next person, all right, this ain't too bad. This ain't too bad. So jumping from person to person, I don't think I meant it. I didn't mean it that way, but I mean,
I mean, it is what it is, DJ. You
yeah,
can mean whatever you want to mean.
yeah, if you're looking for who you want to look for, and it takes five people, it takes 5 or 10 people. I don't think nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's nothing wrong with having a certain standard and sticking with it.
Okay, so here's my question, right? You said something, and I came up with this, right? Um, y'all, give me a second. I'm coming. I'm coming. So, do you think that you would deal with something with someone you like versus someone that you don't like? So, let's say, for instance, right? You may be talking to two girls at the same time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're single, you're dating, right? And so therefore it's one that you feeling a lot, right? And it's one that you feel like that you just keep around for like conversation wise, this and that and the third, blah blah blah. But y'all feeling the vibe with each other still, but you possibly not as interested in her than you are with this one, right? However, they're showing you the same characteristics, right? Like the same, like just not the same everything. They have a same of some of the things that you don't like, right? Are you willing to take it more from a person that you like versus from a person that you don't like? Because the reason why I asked that is because with me being a woman, right? Dating or whatever. And let's say, for instance, I talk to two dudes, right? And you got one that's like, oh, he's so annoying, da, da, da. And then you got one like you really feeling him, right? And my thing is like, oh, okay, I see the same, things that I don't like, which is one of them is communication. You gotta communicate with me. I love communicating. Um, and one is not, both of them is basically doing it, but it's just like, damn, like I'm feeling him. I I realized that's I found myself getting more annoyed with the person that I wasn't feeling like that wasn't showing that communication versus to the person that I actually like, uh, that I fuck with for real, and not fucking with for real, but like a lot.
Yeah,
And I'm accepting the fact that he's giving me these breadcrumbs because I like him. I think that this is what people do. And I feel like that, though everybody got, their boundaries, red flags, or whatever for them because everybody is different. I just feel like that people accept it more from people that they like more than they like than from somebody that they ain't feeling like that, but just keep it around.
And some what they say, something is better than nothing, right? And
Correct.
people people go through the most horrible things, just to not be alone, you know.
Exactly.
So I spent I mean, just think about any long relationship that you've been in. Like you like that person, and um, over time you find things you don't like about that person. Like some things it just really irks you. Like certain things you just want to, like, if you could just want to, like just push
Choke
them,
them.
yeah, just push them down the stairs a little bit. Just you know, and but you put up with it because you know you're content. You're satisfied just enough to make it to the next day. Knowing what I know now, and going through what I've been through, it would be hard for me to experience that early on and stay in it, because
Correct.
like I I feel like I I gain nothing but possible resentment for that person, and I
Hmm.
don't want to feel that way about about anyone, and I don't want it to show. I don't want to mistreat anybody. I don't want my verbiage or my body language to be unpleasant when I'm in the space of anybody, specifically a woman, specifically a black woman. So I would remove myself from it. So I probably couldn't ride it out. Even though I'm really feeling her, when things start kicking in, I'm like, I just don't like these couple of things. And compared to somebody I don't like and dealing with it, then I'll establish something sociable at least. Like if you want to keep in contact, or we have something in common to go on. Like say if she like skating, I like skating or something, even though I can't skate. But if she want to go skating sometimes or something, I mean we can do that, catch lunch and all. But it wouldn't be something where I would be like staying in relationship wise. I think that's not cynical, but people do it, and it's unfortunate because it's really about um I think it's would you say when you do something like that, it's more about not wanting to be single or lonely again? When you did it, what did you do it for?
Um, um, to be honest with you, DJ, I don't care about being lonely. I don't care about being single. I just did it, I guess, because I did it. I
Did you
didn't have a particular reason. It was like
you just let it happen basically?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I didn't have a reason. Like I don't be having motives, but I be chilling, really.
Yeah.
And with me chilling or whatever, I find myself to possibly, just wander through or whatever. However, what I have learned is that I'm gonna say with the I've learned that it takes patience. Um, especially if you're feeling somebody. Okay. So I'm just gonna play it like this right quick. So with the person, with both of them, right, that things has been communicated before you. I feel like that things should be communicated before you feel like that you just need to cut a person slam dam off. Okay. However, what happens is that I find myself with the person that I like, and I communicate with that person in regards like, hey, I don't like when you do this, I don't like when you do that. And they're making a change, like making, and I see the change, then I'm willing to basically look at I see the vision in regards like with you wanting to change versus me telling the person that I don't like about some things that I feel like they need to switch up, and I don't see any, like I see, like I said, they'll switch up for a couple of days, they're not consistent with it, then therefore it's just going to make it easier for me to make my decision in regards with actually staying with the person I like the most, because again, though he is showing me red flags that I may not like, though I communicated about it, he's also trying to make a change, versus with the person that I really don't like that, I did this, let them know like what I don't like in regards with the boundaries or the red flags or whatever. And again, like if you're trying to make that change, then I gotta, you gotta go.
No,
Because
I want to ask you something real quick about what you said. So that person is making the changes, and hey, I need you to do this, that, and third, and they start doing it, but then they revert back to not. How do you deal with that? Like how you know
with the person that I like the most,
like
I,
when they revert back, like you stretching it out with them, like y'all together, y'all kicking it. You going on year 3, year 4, and they in this constant like they'll change a little bit and they revert back, change a little bit and revert back. There's it's like
that's why you gotta look at the vision over the vibes. Real talk. Because they're showing you have people that will change and work on trying to change that, because maybe that is something that they want to change within themselves, right? You have some people that's only trying to change for the relationship, so it's going to be kind of hard for them to actually stay consistent in regards, because they're trying to change for you and not for themselves.
mm,
So basically, you'll see that person probably done made a change in 2 months, and y'all kicking in the school, ha ha he, and then after those 2 months, 2 months, they backslide, and they okay. So you have a conversation, okay, you do this again, blah blah blah. They get it together, and then they backslide. So therefore, you're going to have to look at their vision, because again, it's probably hard for them to change because they're not wanting to really change, but they trying to change, but it's not working out because they're not doing it for themselves. And then you have those that don't want to change at all. And those that don't want to change at all, you just gonna have to look at the vision over the vibes, because the vibes can be cool for real, for real. But if they ain't trying to change at all, you just gotta look at that vision and go on by your business. Look at the vision and go on by your business.
so when you say that, so have you ever have you so you saying not so you saying so um if you've ever set up for vibes over vision, how long did you set up for the vibes before you say, okay, I can't do this anymore?
Oh my gosh.
Like
Like
this is not going anywhere and they're not changing, but y'all just click.
4 years.
Mm.
That's a long time.
Why do you say, okay, I'm
It when they say everybody has a breaking point, everybody has a breaking point. Especially when you're getting more in tune with yourself. And when you're more in tune with yourself, then that's when like you said, you'll know what you will accept and what you won't accept
yeah.
any longer. And like I said, when people are so used to breadcrumbing you, they think that you're supposed to get breadcrumbs like all the time. And it's not like that. Because the more you get in tune with yourself, the more that you'll know your worth. And your worth is not breadcrumbs.
If you don't mind me asking, what age range was this 4 years?
In my 30s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do
In
you
my
think
30s.
age plays a part in
Um, to be honest with you, I'ma say now I get what Aaliyah say, that age ain't nothing but a number.
mm,
Age is really nothing but a number for real. Um, because I can have this 40-year-old and then have this 30-year-old, but this 30-year-old is it's more mature than this 40-year-old. Like
Well, I
this
mean for
30.
you. I mean for you. Do you feel like age played a part in where you were at mentally in your 30s, like to deal with that? Like, do you think it played a part in why you were able to understand that, hey, this ain't going nowhere, but I'm feeling it for that long? Or would your 20s, would you react different, or are you it's just in your character, like you say, or that's just in your personality? Say, okay, this is what I'm willing to accept until I'm not.
I'm sitting up here trying to think. Oh,
I'm gonna say
DJ.
I say when I was in my 20s, there were things that I let ride. I let so much ride in my
And
20s.
that's why I'm over here thinking too,
And
because I let a lot ride in my 20s
yeah,
too. I did.
to about
I
to
did.
about 20 to about 27, 28, like late 20s. That's when I turned it all like, okay, now you got to chill out. And then when I hit my 30s, it was more like, all right, this is really messing with me. Like it's messing with my emotions. I'm getting frustrated to the point where I don't know what to pour out into. I need to meditate. I need to scream. I need to be emotional, in my little corner. And that's when I started to feel like uh, almost selfish a little bit, in a sense of like before it was more. And coming from a man's perspective, before it was more about, growing up, it was really like, hey, that happy wife, happy life mentality that was pushed, like, her. It was really pushed about that, and then you get to a certain point when you realize, okay, I'm pouring into somebody and I'm not receiving anything back. When I'm pouring into somebody and I'm not, I'm literally pouring all of me out. And I'm not receiving anything back. So it's like, when do I turn that off? And I think around my 30s, I turn it off. So I just want to know if it was the same thing from your
Yeah.
side.
To be honest with you though, DJ, it was I like I said, I accepted a lot of things in my 20s. When I got in my 30s, it wasn't I was like when I got in my 30s, I was still kind of sort of in a relationship. When I got out of my relationship, I was in my mid 30s. And it it plays a part for real because like I said, it's a lot of things that I won't accept. That I would have accepted in my 20s. Now, I no, it's not going down. I tell people now. Now, if you would have catch me back in my younger days, then yeah, it would have went down. But no, it's not even. This ain't even that no more. So yeah.
Okay.
I guess age does play a factor in regards with how with you changing, and with change it comes growth. So again, you get to learn what you will accept and what you want to accept. And though it may cause for you to be single for a while, it will bring some, being more intentional with yourself. Like I said, it's going to allow for you to actually know what your worth is. So therefore, everybody know that everybody worth is not the same. Whatever you go for, that's what you're going to go for. But my thing is, don't sit up here and settle for the vibes over the vision. Again, that's settling for potential. And like you said, with you being in a relationship and you was taught that, you know, um, that men are supposed to pour into women. And me personally, I look at that as settling. I now is saying that I don't, if they're telling women shouldn't settle, men shouldn't have to settle either, because y'all are human beings too, with feelings too. So why the fuck would y'all have to settle? And I've done had plenty of men done told me, well, it's not necessarily just settling, it's just doing what you were taught to do. It's just like, but the way that you were taught is really kind of sort of toxic, because why are you settling for somebody that's not pouring into you the same way that you pour into them? It should be about reciprocating right now. Everybody should reciprocate. It's not hard to do. Reciprocation is free, really. unless, you know what I'm saying, you're doing some acts of service, or, doing the 5 love languages or something like that, or, just doing whatever. However, things should be about reciprocation now. And
Yeah.
if you're not giving it to me, then I don't want it. I don't. So again, do not settle for the vibes or the vision. And I feel like that men shouldn't have to settle either. They be miserable
Yeah. I
settling.
been there, and you know, and it's just things we have to break away from, traditions we're told as young men, or things that have been put on us, or said to us, and we have to be. I can't think of another word to say right now, but we have to be more selfish to an extent to say, hey, I want to take care of me as well. Like, it's not just pouring. I want to be poured into. I've gotten to the point where even with some of my guy friends, we talk, and it's like, we someone asked me the other day, like, if I'm into being soft, and I was like, I'm not soft. I enjoy being gentle. You know, I don't. I'm at a stage right now. I'm aware. I got kids and everything, so I can't walk around and being Mr. Macho and all hard up and everything. That's how I used to be, but then I found that I got in tune with myself, got in tune with my emotions. So, and I think a lot of guys are starting to get to that point now, and so we definitely haven't been settling, for the vibes a lot. Like, not now, not this age, not this time. It's too many. It's too many other things to worry about than to worry about if me and somebody is connecting as well. So
I mean, I feel like connection plays a factor.
yeah,
However, you want to have that connection with the vision,
yeah,
not the connection with the vibes. You get what I'm saying? Make sure they have all, like, the vibes, the connection, the vision. It's okay to have all that. But if you're going to weigh out the both, make sure it's vision. You want a woman that's going to take care of you, pour back into you, let you know what's up. Hey, learn how to communicate. What they calling it now, emotional intelligence.
yeah.
Like, for real, y'all men don't settle, and I don't care what the women say. Oh, then no, don't settle. It's not fair. So, what I'm going to do, that was my spiel, DJ. Before we head out, Do you have a spiel?
Yeah, like, just the vibes are cool. Vibes are very cool and all. And I think when you get to a certain point, you really should find a full connection that's gonna be worth your time. Like, worth if you're gonna put effort into it, make sure it's more than just vibes. Vibes can get you but so far. At least minimum 4 years, right?
The minimum for
Minimum 4 years, and
years.
we ain't getting younger, so 4 years is a long time for us.
4 years is a long time. I agree. Well, DJ, thank you so much for your spiel.
No
And
problem.
y'all, I do want to, before we do head out, DJ, I do want to thank you so, so much for, coming through and chopping it up with me, your girl Glow. And before we head out, could you let the people know where they can find you at?
I am on Instagram, under um, King of Danes. That's King dot Danes. Unfocused Playroom, all Unfocused Playroom, all platforms, and possibly some other stuff coming. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see some other things that I'm posting and all. It's kind of bare right now, but it's gonna get where it's going. So
Of course, it's definitely gonna get where it's going. So ain't no need for you to explain that. Just let them know to come follow you on Instagram,
yep.
okay? And they're gonna watch you blow up, okay? Period. So y'all, make sure y'all go and follow him on Instagram, and make sure that y'all come and follow me too on Instagram. Y'all can find me on Conversations with Glow on all platforms as well too. But again, I do want to thank y'all so much for tuning into Conversations with Globe Radio Show. I greatly appreciate the support that is being given. You know, it's never unnoticed, okay? But y'all already know where y'all can find me at. In the meantime, between time, peace out.